Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Kent City Council meeting for August 19th, Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. If you could all please rise and join me in the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kim, could you please call the roll?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mayor Ralph?
Here.
Council President Kaur?
Here.
Councilmember Boyce?
Here.
Councilmember Boyd?
Here.
Councilmember Fincher?
Here.
Councilmember Larmer?
Here.
Councilmember Michaud? Councilmember Troutner?
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is agenda approval. Are there any changes to the agenda? All right, seeing none, a motion would be in order to approve the agenda as published.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. This is going to move us right into public communications. We do not have anything under public recognition this evening, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Council President Kaur for community events.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have events happening at Assessor Showwear Center. The Seattle Thunderbirds 2025-2026 home game schedule is now available. Tickets go on sale Wednesday, August 27 at 10 a.m. Those are always fun events for family and young kids and toddlers who come home and want to play hockey. It's very, very exciting. So if you have young kids like I do and they want to come home and emulate what they see there. It's good for them to burn their energy. August 24, Los Tigres del Norte concert. September 4 is Bloodworks Northwest Mobile Blood Drive. There's a need in our community for blood, so I hope you will join me in signing up for the blood drive. September 14 is one of the biggest Bollywood concerts here happening by Badshah. And September 20th, Seattle T-Birds home opener versus Tri-City Americans. And those tickets will go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. And with that, back to you, Madam Mayor.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Fincher.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to let everybody know that the new guide is available for the Spotlight series. It's an entertainment series here in Kent. Great entertainment. List of the concerts that will be held this season are in here, and it is available online also. kentlaw.gov/arts. Thank you.
All right, thank you. With that, we are going to move into the final item under public communications, and that is our public safety report. Joining us this evening is Deputy Chief Matt Stansfield.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Matt Stansfield from the Police Department. I'm here tonight to bring August's public safety report. It's 2 months in a row, so I'm pretty excited about that. So we have some really neat things to go through tonight. I'm going to recognize some employees for some really, really good work that's been done. We're going to introduce one of our newest employees, and then we're going to talk about some thanks that should go out to you all in the community for a recent event. So to go ahead and get started, I would like to invite our newest officer, Taylor Bear, up to the front for me. Thank you. So Officer Bear comes to us. She's local, and she grew up mainly in Puyallup and attended Puyallup schools. While she was in junior high, her mom bought a house here in Kent. So she would often be here in Kent over weekends for several years. While in high school, she had the opportunity to do the Running Start program and graduated with an associate's degree. She knew she wanted to get her degree in something that would translate over to law enforcement. And while she was attaining her AA in psychology, she took courses in criminal profiling and criminology. Before Kent PD, Taylor was employed as a barista and met her husband, Brandon. She also worked for King County Transit doing coach cleaning. They moved to San Diego, where he was stationed in the Navy. Brandon and Taylor got married in March of 2023 and then ended up returning to Washington in 2024 after he got out of the military to be closer to their families. Taylor said she chose Kent PD because she immediately recognized while she was doing her department tour that it was very welcoming and she loved the environment. She also chose Kent because how diverse our community is, and she really thinks that's amazing. In her spare time, Taylor spends time remodeling their house with her husband, Brandon, as well as spending time with their 3 dogs, 2 cats, and a fish, which she says is entertaining. A hobby that she's developed She found working on their house that it was really rewarding to do the remodeling because they were able to learn new skills and be creative. So with Taylor's introduction complete, I'd ask who's here with you tonight?
So my husband Brandon's here with me, my mom Tia, my dad Mike, my grandpa Bob, and then my little brother Justin.
Okay. Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. So, now Ralph?
Do you know you lost?
I state your name,
I, Taylor Bear,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to bear true faith and allegiance
to the United States of
to
America,
the United States of America,
the state of Washington,
and the state of Washington,
and the city of
and
Kent,
the city of Kent.
that I will uphold the Constitution and laws
That I will uphold the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Washington,
and the state of Washington,
and that I will obey the rules and
and
regulations
that I will obey the rules and regulations
of the Kent Police
of
Department.
the Kent Police Department.
It's official. Congratulations.
Mom, you can come closer to take a picture. Feel free. It's okay.
Welcome to Kent. Happy to have you.
Okay, so always good to welcome some new employees. I really appreciate Taylor undertaking this as a career. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to recognize a series of employees, several different types of awards, really kind of spans the whole gamut for a lot of different kinds of work that was really, really amazing. And so the first one I want to talk about is Detective Andy Richardson. Detective Andy Richardson was recently recognized by the FBI for some work that he did in a case that part of it took place here in Kent, but then it took place in some other jurisdictions as well, and we'll cover some of the details of what they were. But we've had some employees recognized with this award from the FBI before. It's an award given directly from the director of the FBI. Really prestigious, hard to get. Andy really deserves it. So what happened last week was here in council chambers, he was presented with what's called a director's certificate for his excellent work on a robbery case he took the lead on. In August of 2024, a federal grand jury indicted Kevin Thistle and Christopher Johnson for RICO, which is Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Statute. It's an organized crime statute, and RICO conspiracy. That's when more than one person is involved in the RICO statute violation, which was tied to a series of violent home invasions in the summer of 2022. The crew targeted Asian families in King, Snohomish, and Skagit counties, usually striking between 2 and 5 in the morning. They forced entry, disabled security cameras, dressed in black, and shouted police to confuse the victims. Adults and children as young as 9 were zip-tied. In one case, a woman was kidnapped and forced to withdraw cash from an ATM. Tragically, the violence escalated in Everett, where a young mother was murdered during one of these instances. Although the crime spanned multiple counties, Detective Richardson played a pivotal role in connecting the cases. Using advanced cell phone analysis software and his own technical expertise, he uncovered data linking the suspects to multiple robberies. His work bridged investigative gaps across the jurisdictions and provided the key evidence needed to bring the case under a federal RICO statute. The indictment included armed robberies, kidnapping, and the Everett homicide, among 7 racketeering acts. It was the result of a complex investigation partnered by the FBI, Kent Police, Snohomish County Sheriff's Office, Mount Vernon Police, and the King County Sheriff's Office. Coordinated work across these jurisdictions connected the incidents, built a federal case, and secured custody transfer both the defendants who were already jailed at the time for unrelated violent crimes. The charges carry a potential life sentence. This case goes to underscore the decisive impact of local and state collaboration and the skill of a single detective whose initiative and technical acumen turned a series of brutal local crimes into a successful federal prosecution. Kent detectives have a history of excellent work quality and impacts that often span multiple jurisdictions, and we're really proud of the way that our federal partners chose to recognize Andy in his work this way. So really, really good work. The next person we're going to recognize and talk about some work that they've been doing here, not just in a single instance, but over years, and that's the Chief's Award of Distinguished Service was given to Officer Kevin Bateman just a couple weeks ago. Kevin's one of our longest tenured employees in the patrol division. He works in the traffic division right now. He's doing collision reconstruction. But what he was recognized for was he has spent over 20 plus years of service in the police department's peer support team, serving from the early 2000s until just this year. Officer Bateman served as a founding member of the peer support team when it was founded in the early 2000s. It was one of 3 people that got the team going, and his commitment to showing up and checking on others, contributing positively to the morale and department culture, has had lasting effects on the evolution of the peer support program and its impact to our department for more than 2 decades. On behalf of a grateful police department, we thank Kevin for his devotion to his peers and lasting support of the department as a whole. We also wish him a smooth transition from this role into the next chapter in his career. And Kevin's not leaving us. He's staying with us. He's just stepping back from peer support. Folks that do that work need a break sometimes too, and Kevin's doing a lot of things right now, so we're happy to let him transition out of that role and just appreciate what he's done. And then the last set of employee recognitions that we want to do is a life-saving medal that we gave to these 3 officers up here, Officer Tina Allen, Officer Tessa Melville, and Officer James Kiddiche. And they're being recognized. Back on June 5th, they responded to a 7-Eleven on West Meeker. They're at the intersection of 64th and Meeker Street for reported stabbing. Officers Allen, Melville, and Kiddiche located the victim on the southern sidewalk of the street with extensive blood loss and blood pooling under him and soaking his clothes. He had sustained multiple significant stab wounds to both of his arms. The 3 officers acted quickly, applying tourniquets to both arms, stopping blood loss while the victim faded in and out of consciousness. While securing the tourniquets and applying pressure and gauze to additional wounds, the officers remained calm and showed great compassion. They took care to talk to the victim, explained what they were doing, and attempted to keep him engaged and awake until paramedics could arrive. Upon arriving at the hospital, the victim immediately went into surgery, where it was determined he had significant brachial artery bleed. Thanks to their expertise in training and trauma first aid, the victim was able to survive his injuries. These officers are being commended for their hand in saving the victim's life. Their actions embody the Kent Police Department mission of protecting and caring for our people in our community, our value of service, and our vision of improving the lives of our community members. Just like to point out too, this is Officer Melville and Officer Kiddiche's 2nd time they've received life-saving awards for saving somebody's life in our community. So. And then our last thing, we want to kind of say thank you. I think everybody up here at the dais helped us out in this, along with a whole bunch of other people. 90 in total, went to 63 neighborhood events on National Night Out back on August 5th. Not our highest ever. We've been in the pre-COVID, we were in the mid-80s for events, but we're all the way back up to 63 events. And a lot of interest this year, a lot of new faces out there, which really bodes well for what we hope are continuing what's really a long tradition of a community event that is a truly, the police department sponsors it. It's a community event. You all know, you all have participated for years. It's just awesome. So I did want to say thanks as well, though, because not just the police department and elected officials, almost every city department is represented on these visits. Public Works, Economic Community Development, Legal, Parks, everybody comes out, and we get to go see everybody in the community and talk. And so I did want to take a second here, and there's a few comments that were made that some are social media, some are emails back to our community education staff. These are direct quotes out of the emails. So one was best attendance, 50 to 60 people with games, community building, and much laughter and good chats. Babies to elders, a good time had by all. Officers and public works joined the fun and chats. We were grateful for their visit for a good 2 hours. Another person said, thank you all so much for visiting on National Night Out. We hope you had a good time. I, for one, really enjoy seeing the community engagement between city and neighbors. And then another one, we had a great National Night Out and wanted to say thank you again for the goodies and the great sign. I don't know what the sign was, but I'm sure it was awesome. We have hosted this event in our cul-de-sac the last 3 years, and we had an amazing turnout, over 100 neighbors and kids, just this one event. So really proud of National Night Out. It takes all of us, and just want to say thank you to the community and everybody up here for partaking and partnering with us that evening. So, and that concludes the public safety report for August, minus any questions you all may have.
All right, thank you, Deputy Chief. Council, any questions?
Just a quick comment. This is mainly for Chad because he really showed up with the big trucks and everything, his team. So they was everywhere. So good job to Public Works.
Popular. So.
It is definitely a highlight of the summer, I think, for every single one of us that gets a chance to participate in so many fun events. And I was at a couple of new neighborhoods this year, so it's a lot of fun. Yeah. All right. Thank you. All right, that brings us down to the next section of the agenda, which is reports from council and staff. Each member of your city council not only works and participates at our regularly scheduled council meetings, but they also sit on a variety of regional and statewide committees, making sure that Kent is being represented in all of those important policy conversations, both across the county and the state, and then on funding conversations as well. So tonight, in lieu of my normal report, it is August recess for a lot of committees, so I am just going to take this opportunity to make a statement regarding the news that we received yesterday about the East Hill Fred Meyer closing in October. I can tell you when I opened that email, I was very surprised, disappointed, all of the different emotions that you can think of when you're thinking about an impact like this on our community. The restructuring of Kroger is at the heart of this closure, with over 60 other locations across the country. Like any for-profit company, profit and efficiency drives their decisions. The interim CEO said, we are making meaningful changes to the business to create a culture that benefits our customers and our associates while improving the long-term shareholder value. I think it's really important to set the stage with that quote. This is a business decision being made in the interest of profitability and shareholders. The decision is not unique to Kent. Kroger is closing Fred Meyer stores in Tacoma, Everett, Redmond, QFC in Mill Creek, and again, a variety of locations across the country. This is not something any city can change. At the individual level, the impact goes beyond efficiencies. It's about the local store, where we all buy groceries, school supplies for our kids, diapers, baby food, where we fill up our gas tanks and get our prescriptions. It's about a local store that is within walking distance of thousands of households, and it's on major bus lines. This is a place that many of us grew up shopping. In the press release, Kroger cited operational reasons and crime as major factors in this decision. Based on the locations of other Washington store closures, the reference to crime as a factor appears to be questionable. Regardless of that, public safety is an issue that our entire city, this entire city council, and myself take very, very seriously. Over the last 4 years, I have been standing up very publicly, as well as this council, and speaking out about the impact of crime on our city and on our neighborhoods, whether it be relating to police pursuits, drug laws, or accountability for offenders. I have been consistent in calling out the impacts of the decisions being made at the county and state level and the significant impacts that those decisions have on our residents. Kent has been loud and forceful in shifting our state legislature to a public safety first agenda. We have made progress as a group. Kent has been showing up and sounding alarm bells and advocating for our residents. Over the past few legislative sessions, we were even in Olympia with Fred Meyer, arm in arm, them supporting and speaking up for our requests for support when it came to public safety funding. Fred Meyer called out the unique situation that Kent has as a result of prior legislative action, which shifted sales tax from Kent to wealthier cities. We have highlighted that without state support, we are unable to provide the level of public safety our community deserves, and that we would be susceptible to decisions like this. It's on the record. There's testimony speaking to these exact things. While recent action by the legislature provides some assistance, it's proving to be too little too late. Organizations like Kroger are not fortune tellers, they're historians. The decision to close this store as well as others is based on historical crime data, not on current trends. Frustrating as that is, because we are seeing improvement in crime trends. The data is showing that area, our community, is getting safer. Calls for service at the Fred Meyer location have declined. We are back to pre-COVID levels. In the absence of statewide support, Kent took proactive steps within our authority and resources to address crime issues. The good news is it's been working, and again, we are seeing decreases in crime across our city. Here are a few highlights. Kent was at the forefront of reestablishing drug laws. We know that drug activity often goes hand in hand with retail theft. In fact, the legislature patterned the current drug laws in the state of Washington after the one that this council passed. We advocated for change in pursuit laws when we saw an increase in retail theft when officers were no longer able to pursue suspects. Council established a SOTA ordinance, which allows those convicted of drug-related crimes to be trespassed from specific areas. That includes the area around Fred Meyer. We were one of the first cities to fully staff our police department back to budget. The issue still exists that we need 35 to 40 more officers, but we did what we could within our available resources. As a city, every single one of these council members, as your mayor, we fully understand the impact of closures like Fred Meyer on our cities and our families. To be honest, I am angry and frustrated and sad. All of that only reinforces my commitment to advocating for Kent, keeping public safety as our #1 priority, and a continued quest for strategic and impactful investment from both King County and the state of Washington. Looking forward, we will continue to ensure that Kent is positioned to attract investment that will benefit all of us. And I can promise you that work started a long time ago, but in lieu of the news yesterday, immediately economic development went to work. They're out there doing everything they can to position this as an eventual long-term win for our community. But we understand the impacts. It's my family's local store. I know what it means to not have that within a few minutes. Every single council member up here understands that. We're going to continue to fight for our city. We're going to continue to advocate at the county level and advocate at the state level and do what we can. But I felt it was really important to address something that I know is having such a profound impact on our neighbors. All you have to do is open up your social media to see how angry and frustrated and upset our residents are. And I just wanted to reassure everyone that we all feel that same way, and we are doing absolutely everything we can and have been doing what we can to not only prevent things like this, but then to recover from the impacts. So, all right, Council President, or I'm sorry, I'm going to turn it over to Pat Fitzpatrick, our Chief Administrative Officer.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I might sound like a broken record here, but I want to real quick brief you on the status of public defense standards. We still have not heard anything from the Supreme Court. Actually expected something last month, but we didn't receive the final rule yet. And just as a reminder, if approved by the court, the new standards will reduce the number of cases that a public defender can handle each year. And it is anticipated that this will drive up demand for public defenders and result in significant increase in public defense costs. So that's what we're facing. In response to this, Human Services has applied for a grant, for a 2-year grant to cover some of the immediate costs of that, of the increase in public defense costs. And just a quick reminder, these costs will ramp up over a 10-year period. So we have applied, the city's applied for a grant to cover some of those costs. We should know in the next few months whether we are successful in that grant. In the immediate, what is happening now is that in anticipation of these new standards, some agencies are, King County has gone on a hiring effort to hire public defenders. They have increased salaries and they are taking away public defense from other city agencies. This is happening. It's driving up costs in our comparable cities around us. And in light of that, I have been working with our public defender to renegotiate a contract because they have so far lost 2 of their public defenders to other agencies. So we have to take immediate action to address this. I'm working on that, and I will keep you posted on that. Right now, it's not a problem for us. We are fine, but we need to take action to ensure that we have a sufficient number of public defenders to continue to prosecute cases, because we cannot prosecute cases if we don't have sufficient number of public defenders. So I'll keep you posted.
Thank you. All right, Council President.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I serve on 4 different regional committees, and we did not meet in the last 15-ish days. But I did attend a number of events in the community, and all that information with the pictures will be in the council newsletter tomorrow. And I am going to start on my left here. Councilmember Troutner.
Thank you, Madam President. I am chair of the Puget Sound Regional Fire Authority Governance Board. I sit on that board with Councilmember Larmer and Councilmember Boyd. We have a meeting tomorrow. I am also in the Regional Transit Committee, and we are not meeting this month. I'll let Councilmember Larmer talk a little bit more about it, but we did have a presentation earlier this evening, and King County Metro is looking for some feedback. They're going to be having some changes and some reductions to some of the routes that will affect cities in King County, especially Kent. So if you visit www.southlink.connections.com, you have until the end of the month to complete that survey and provide feedback on some of those reductions. Also, our multimedia team will be interviewing Metro staff next week for the Kent Now podcast, which will be on later this month. So again, more information on some of those changes within King County Metro. And Madam President, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Troutner. Councilmember Larmer.
Thank you, Madam President. I serve as the subject matter chair for the Economic and Community Development. And earlier this evening in our COW meeting, we had 2 presentations. They were information only. The first one was on the Critical Areas Ordinance. This is an ordinance that we have to revisit every 10 years. So that time has come around now. And this is an ordinance in which we protect, I want to make sure I get this right. So areas of critical concern, including wetlands, fish and wildlife habitats, and geologically hazard areas, namely shorelines. So that work is beginning, and we were just getting an update on that. We also got an update on the Rediscover Downtown plan. We got our preview. There's going to be a full discussion on this on September 16th in our workshop. And there's going to be a lot of interesting foot traffic data. There's been some pattern sources that we have record now of, where folks are walking downtown, what establishments they're visiting. So we'll get some really useful information in that workshop on the 16th. So I encourage the public to tune into that. And with that, I will end my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Larmer. Councilmember Boyce, please.
Thank you, Madam President. I am the council representative for the SCA PIT Committee. We took the month of August off, so we'll be meeting start back in September. Thank you.
Take us for Public Issues Committee.
Public Issue Committee. Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
I usually say that, but thank you.
Councilmember Boyd, please.
Thank you, Madam President. I sit on the Hazardous Waste Management Program, and today we talked about our degreaser program. The Hazardous Waste Program started this degreaser program back in 2021 to support businesses, mainly auto repair shops, through other industries that also that apply. We are trying to talk them into switching from a traditional solvent-based degreaser, which contains hazardous air pollutants and are harmful to workers and health, to a safer product. Further, the study found that there is a disproportionate exposure to these solvent-based degreasers by race and children who are often exposed to them while their parents work at these businesses. This degreaser program helps business switch to a safer alternative by providing technical assistance to identify alternative products and a financial incentive, such as vouchers, to switch to these identified alternatives. These financial incentives got the attention of businesses and made them more willing to engage in voluntary site visits, particularly since many of the changes to the safest technologies are associated with upfront expenses. even if there are possible long-term cost savings and reductions of health and environmental risk. Okay, some of the sites that were contacted for this work were auto repair services, metal machining, fabrication, and manufacturing. And as of today, we have, out of 114 sites contacted, 96 were interested in safer degreaser program. And of those, 23 has switched to a safer product so far. And that's the end of my report. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilmember Boyd. Councilmember Fincher, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Mental Illness and Drug Dependency Advisory Committee had a renewal ordinance briefing today, and so I'll write up about that. But one fact that I thought was interesting was that 25% of the people in King County have received some sort of mid-service. So that speaks a lot to the value of that product, but of that program. But more about that will be in my next report. Also, King Conservation District got away from the table this time. Instead of having the regular meeting, there was a tour. They went to 2 farms and to a Duwamish restoration project. I wanted to mention this weekend there were 2 really big events here in Kent. And big, I mean the number of people were pouring out. There was unity in the community, thanks to Jim Glover Empowerment Mentoring. And that was up by the Y and the park, Morrill Meadows Park. Both were full of people. And then the Cajun Creole Fest, which was right down here, just a couple of blocks away from us. Both of them were wonderful events filled with people, showed the goodness of Kent. All of the good things that go on here were going on. People were happy. There was dancing, music. Jim, there were free Nikes, hats, backpacks, books, haircuts. There were so many free things given out to the kids. It was unbelievable. I mean, the work that both Alphas and KDP and their partners, as well as Jim and their partners, put into this. So thank you. Thank you for being part of our community. Then, as a point of personal privilege, today is my daughter's birthday. Happy birthday, Crystal Nicole. So.
Thank you, Councilmember Fincher. Happy birthday, Crystal. Yes. And I neglected to report that at council workshop, we had a presentation on water quality, and our water quality report is out, and we do have the best water, I think. And with that, back to you, Madam Mayor.
All right. Thank you so much. We will move on in the agenda. Item number 6 is public hearing. We do not have a public hearing this evening, so that brings us to item number 7, public comment. The public comment period is your opportunity to speak to the council and the mayor on issues that relate to the city of Kent or agenda items the council will consider. This is not an open public forum, and comments that do not relate to the business of the city of Kent are not permitted. Additionally, the state of Washington strictly prohibits people from using this public comment opportunity for political campaign purposes, including to support or oppose a ballot measure or a candidate running for office. Speakers may not give political campaign speeches, but must instead speak concerning a matter of the City Council's agenda or matters being addressed by the mayor and council as a whole. Remarks intended to target an individual on the dais are not permitted. And finally, please note that this public comment opportunity is for you to provide information to the mayor and council that you would like for us to consider, and we will not be able to answer questions during the meeting itself. Kim will go ahead and call our speakers, and when you come up to the podium, if you could state your name and city of residence for the record, we would appreciate that. Kim?
The first speaker is Griffin Cole, followed by Gwen Allen Karsten.
Good evening. My name is Griffin Cole. I'm a resident of Issaquah. However, tonight I come to represent the Volunteer Services Program of Catholic Community Services. I've been program manager for 1 year, and prior to that, I spent 9 years as a program coordinator. Madam Mayor, Madam President, council members, I wanted to take a moment to thank you for your support and the support of the City of Kent for our program. Our program provides important support for those over the age of 60 and over the age of 18 with a disability that are living independently in their homes. And we support them with things like transportation for medical appointments, grocery shopping, which has shown how important that is tonight. We also help with things like light housework, yard work. And so the reason I mention this is I want to share our great appreciation for your support. And I wanted to fill you in on what's happening in the city of Kent concerning our program. Thus far, in the first 6 months of 2025, the Volunteer Services Program has helped more than 20 Kent residents with over 1,000 hours of volunteer help. The great thing about this is that the way the help is provided is through a caring network of neighbors. So it is Kent residents helping Kent residents. The support in Kent through the years has been extremely strong, and we greatly appreciate the support of the city overall. Lastly, the goal of the Volunteer Services Program is to help those older adults remain living in their home as long as it is safe for them. And as I mentioned, the way we do that is through a caring network of neighbors. Thus, one of the very important things about this is that we are using volunteers who are doing it out of the goodness of their heart to help neighbors. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming and sharing that. I appreciate you recognizing the amazing volunteers and the heart of what Kent really is. So thank you.
Thank you. The support of the city is terrific.
The next speaker is Gwen Allen Karsten, followed by TJ Peterson.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you to Madam Mayor and Chief, who's not here tonight, for your willingness to come and be at our meeting that we discussed certain things. So thank you so much for taking the time. My name is Gwen Allen Karsten. I live in Kent up on East Hill, have been there since 2004. Proud member up there. I have a statement here I just want to read, and I hope everyone can appreciate the reasonings behind this statement. Our community, and when I mention our community, my organization is Kent Black Action Commission, and our centering is for the black and brown of the city. However, we're concerned about all residents in the city. Our community has shared concerns regarding the hiring practices of the Kent Police Department, the standards of accountability for officers, and the transparency of disciplinary processes. We want to ensure that officers hired to protect our city uphold the highest standards of professionalism, integrity, and community trust. Specifically, residents want clearer information about how background checks are conducted, how past misconduct is considered in hiring, and how the department works with the Washington State Criminal Justice Commission to certify officers. We also know that safety is about more than policing. It's about trust. Many families, particularly black and brown communities, feel disconnected or unheard when it comes to public safety decisions. We believe the city must prioritize transparency, community engagement, and equitable treatment. We urge the council to explore ways to strengthen independent oversight, expand community police dialogues, and ensure that community concerns lead to meaningful action. Our residents are also concerned about housing affordability, youth engagement opportunities, and mental health resources. We cannot separate public safety from these larger issues. When people feel economically secure, when youth have outlets and mentorship, when mental health is supported, our whole city is safer. We encourage the council to adopt a holistic approach to safety that goes beyond policing alone. In closing, I urge the council to take these concerns seriously and to make room for the voices of community members in shaping the city's policies. We want a Kent where all residents feel safe, respected, and valued. Thank you for your time and commitment. And lastly, I would like to piggyback on what Brenda said about the activities going on in the city this weekend. Oh my God. Mardi Gras, first of all. I worked and helped Althea's with serving the gumbo and all that stuff, and I tell you, I was tired. But then I went up on the East Hill and I went to the Unity in the community, and my Lord, the people. So we are gracious and thankful that we have this space in our city to do these type of things, to welcome all, not just a few. So thank you guys so much for your work that you're doing. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is T.J. Peterson, followed by our last speaker, Logan Evans.
Hello, Mayor. Hello, council members. Thank you for the opportunity. And Catholic Community Services, the work you guys do in Kent, love is deep, and thank you for the services. Gwen, awesome. Love my neighbor. Just want a real quick thing here. Naden Assemblage, I guess you guys did RFPs for this 10 acres right downtown, right on Meeker Street. Got a great plan, got great ideas for pedestrians and living downtown. And from what I understand, somebody wants to move industrial manufacturing downtown. Great idea, maybe, I guess. I think there should have probably been more community discussion. I know this was brought together, the Naden Assemblage, the Naden family. They donated the park over there at one time for the community to use. There was a neighborhood over there, great history, a lot of stories. People were living downtown. And the property was acquired through the auspices of a community swimming pool. Great idea, great idea. Bought a lot of properties there. Financial crisis, thanks to the financiers and the real estate market, kind of went all sideways, so it all got stuck. You guys came up with a great plan, YMCA. We now have a partnership, a new pool. I think there should have probably been a discussion with the community on what we do with this property. I know there's 3 RFPs available, 2 to buy the property, 1 to long-term lease it. We put a lot of money through state grants and infrastructure in this property. I don't remember any discussions on any of this. I remember the discussions over the Part 3 property trade. I remember how the city didn't really do so good on the property deal of Kent Station. Pine Tree Park comes to mind. When these property deals are done without a lot of input, I've even talked to counselors that really don't remember any input that they've had to have on this property unless it was in meetings away from the public. But I think with these requests for proposals and these proposals in, maybe it's a good idea to reach out to the community. This is what's being offered. This is a long-term plan. I know we have a housing crisis. I know we have 10 acres. There's not a housing component to this, I guess. I think that's a big shame, especially right on Meeker Street, building a cohesive downtown density. I'm just kind of curious as to why this has been such a behind-the-scenes kind of thing without community engagement. And hopefully maybe the council members can take a stand, a public stand on where they are and what we should do with this property. I guess a deal might already be done. I don't know. But thanks for your time. And couple of little last things. I heard the little tail end of this talk about the Fred Meyer. Pointing fingers at the state and the county and other things other than maybe looking inward on why this happened and what's going on with that neighborhood when people even are afraid to park up there. That's another kind of issue, you know, and I mean, I guess we'll leave it at that. It's going to leave a big hole in our community, and Kmart, Big Lots, maybe we ought to look inward on what's going on. Thank you.
Our last speaker is Logan Evans.
Hello, everyone. Well, let me know when to go. Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. I'm Logan Evans, and I hail from Kent. There we go. Yeah, so I fully agree with having good, tight standards on police, and I wish those standards we have for our police officers we applied to the people who robbed the Fred Meyer. Honestly, if we were as strict on those people as we are on our cops, this would be a wonderful city. But all deadly serious jokes aside, yeah, the Fred Meyer closed, and that is because of crime. I mean, it can't not be admitted, right? I mean, yeah, there's other economic things, but Kent has been dying for a while, and I think that's why people, I have friends who lived here with me since childhood, and they're up in Burlington now, and they were writing text messages to me, like half an essay long complaints about this. And yeah, it's because the Fred Meyer is a symbol of the oncoming death of the city. It's a harbinger of what is to come, right? It's a large one. You can't ignore it. There's no hiding it. You can ignore a couple of fentanyl addicts downtown doubled over in front of you. You can ignore what happens to people at night when they're afraid, but you can't ignore a Fred Meyer closing. It's just too big, right? And I think that's why people take it so personally, even if I haven't like shopped at a Fred Meyer in like months. Like I really haven't shopped there. I don't care. But it is a symbol. And yeah, I think TJ is right. We need to look inward. What did Pasco do? What did Burien do? What do other cities do? So when we invest in more apartment complexes, when we do these things, when we have policies that encourage the construction of buildings that attract certain kinds of people, that attract more and more drug users who will inevitably steal. Again, when we trigger these kinds of situations, it makes Kent a much less livable city than other better cities. So, I mean, again, your soda was awesome. Like, you guys have been doing that. You're pushing forward on that. I would just say it'd be nice to keep seeing what those other cities are doing, what policies they have regarding nonprofit organizations, what policies they have with who lives where, what is allowed to be built, what kind of housing is built. And all of that will make this a city where you can have more stores open. And even, God willing, you could have, like, I don't know, a fun place to hang out that's open past 9 p.m. But, yeah, really, that's it. Thank you guys so much.
That was the last public speaker.
All right, thank you, Kim. Item number 8 is consent calendar, and the consent calendar is a compilation of items that the council has discussed at both workshop and committee of the whole, had an opportunity to ask questions, and these items have passed out of committee of the whole without controversy. This evening we have items A through D. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So move.
Second.
All right, I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Item number 9 is other business. We do not have any, nor do we have any bids this evening. Council does not have an executive session. So that brings us down to the bottom of our agenda. Last meeting in August. We will see you all back here in September. We are adjourned.